Welcome to Raising Wisdom, where we embark on a transformative journey of enlightenment, introspection, and self-discovery. Here, we don't just talk about life's challenges, we embrace them as opportunities to grow, evolve, and unlock the true potential within. I'm your girl, Nico Sakari, the Mad Alchemist and your Zen Journey Coach, here to provide tools to help you nurture, align, and evolve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's elevate together. High vibrations. Peace, loves. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. It is here where we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Together we will navigate the complexities of life, seeking the elusive wisdom that enriches our minds and souls. So get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unlock the true potential of your being. Listen, Raising Wisdom is your space to heal, to laugh, and to glow through it all. I'm your host, Nico Sakari, your Zen Journey Coach, and today's episode is extra sacred because it falls on the new moon, and it's my birthday. That's what's up. I miss you guys so much. Oh my God, let me tell you what's been going on, okay? I'm stepping into 39 with a heart full of clarity, love, and boundaries that don't bend, okay? We're going to get into it. But first things first, how y'all doing? How's everything been going? We have survived throughout this time because I've been gone, like 3-ish months? And yeah, so we would survive the retrograde, and we've also survived the Venus retrograde. So there was Mercury and there was Venus. We had an eclipse. We had another eclipse. We got a lot going on cosmically. And here on Earth, it's so ghetto right now, isn't it? If you in America, goodness gracious. I mean, but it's like watching a movie, right? Anyway, we'll get into all of that stuff later. That's neither here nor there, because today we're talking about reciprocity, the age of reciprocity. This is where I am, y'all. Okay, I have had many deaths and rebirths to get here, but I am so happy to be back. I missed you so much. I hope all is well in every single one of y'all's life. Okay, thank you so much for coming back. So, why I took a 3-month break. The truth about reciprocity. So the last time that I saw you guys, I was going through a lot. I do believe that I mentioned that I would not be getting married, and I didn't. And that I would tell you all about it, right? The whole story, from meeting to the whole immigration process to getting to the States to, the planning, all of it, right? However, while I was getting my thoughts together, while I was wondering what I was going to include in that episode, as far as just letting you guys know my story of like what happened, what I went through, I found myself needing to do a whole lot of soul searching in the way of healing. Like healing in a space to understand me more. And I had to step back and do that because there were some questionable things that happened along the way. And I allowed it. And so I had to figure out why. Nico, why did you allow that? Like, why? What was going on with you? So I went ghost. And not to be mysterious and not for aesthetics, I disappeared because I was in a deep process. And like I said, I've had many deaths and rebirths within the time that I was away, a shedding, if you will, a remembering. And I had to face myself and ask, why am I exhausted? Why am I depleted? Why does my love feel like labor? And why am I giving to connections that don't water me back? right? I think, if you're tuning into this because we're clearly in a space, in an age of reciprocity. I mean, you're tuned in, you tapped in. All right, if you see what's going on in social media, but energetically, the frequency is moving in different directions. It's shifting very quickly, you guys, and it's either you get the downloads and you get on board, all right, or the train's going to leave you, unfortunately. You may have time to catch up and hop on, right? But it's important that we're paying attention. This is spiritual warfare. And so it's many different things that are happening within rising to get to Christ consciousness. And that is making sure that you are taking care of you. You're making sure that you're doing the work on you. You can't save everybody else if you don't have your house in order. And we all need to get our houses in order. And that's what that's what I was doing. Okay? That's what I was doing. I realized that I had confused consistency with loyalty, and loyalty with self-sacrifice. Yeah, I was overgiving in my relationships, situationships, friendships, all the ships, and even family dynamics that didn't reciprocate. So I was abandoning myself for the sake of being chosen, for the illusion of the connection. The connection didn't really exist, not in the way that I saw it, right? I mistook being needed for being loved. Yeah. And so here we are. Let me tell you what I've learned, darlings. Listen, when I tell you the Most High has been so very good to me and my family, okay, just overall, just completely over my business, over my mind, over my children, over my family as a whole, and the outpour of, or rather I say like the increase of my spiritual gifts enhancing. Listen, if you are in the space where you want to do a better job at taking care of yourself, and you want to make sure that you're not giving too much of yourself to others, where you are empty and your cup is depleted, is over with, okay, ain't no more drops left, then you definitely want to make sure that you pay attention in this episode and get all the gems that you possibly can, because we're going to go on a little ride and have some soft truths, if you will. Listen, I'm a giver, and givers need givers. I'm also a healer, and healers need healers. If you can identify with either one of those, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, in that silence that I was just speaking of, I finally heard myself say, enough. So, like, why am I sending Grand Rising texts to people who leave me on red till Thursday? Oh, goodness gracious. Like, my higher self is like, girl, get up. Crazy work. Just trying to feel something, anything, because I allowed myself to go numb. I was in such a trying space in my life where the emotions, I mean, after you go from sad, mad, angry, depressed, insane, deranged, child, happy, sad again, I mean, just the whole thing, right? After you go through something like that, you want to feel something, because the only other thing is numbness. And not that the numbness served me in a space where it didn't serve me well at the moment, because I believe that it was very necessary. Because in that numbness, I was able to logically evaluate every single thing that I was feeling in its entirety, right? So, I found that I didn't want to keep performing worthiness. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? I did not want to continue performing worthiness. I wanted to feel it, right? Which meant unplugging from people, patterns, and expectations that drained me. All right? Word of advice, release the expectations. Not the ones on yourself, but the ones for others. Because once you set those boundaries that we always talk about, that I always teach on, the ones that we keep in place and we don't budge, we don't move on them, making sure that those expectations of your boundaries being reciprocated, of being respected, that's imperative, okay? Period, point blank. That's it. That's all. But as far as expectations from other people, and okay, you meet someone and you have all these expectations for them, just calm down, relax. Okay, like, we're just experiencing each other in this reality, in this world, and we just gonna keep it at that. All right, putting expectations on people is going to leave room for disappointment. Everybody's not where you are, and everybody doesn't have the same perspective that you have. Now, communication in any type of relationship, friendship, whatever have you, is very important, of course, because then you get some type of foundation, what those boundaries are and those expectations are of one another, right? However, that doesn't always fall through. That doesn't always happen because we're not perfect, right? And people are changing. We are all changing every day. So definitely allow that grace. Open that communication up with yourself, with your partner, with your friend, or with your family to make sure your foundation is right. And while you're doing your reintroduction of who you are, after doing the work and continuously doing the work in your healing journey and just along your process overall, you make sure you ain't nobody to play with, okay? Not in a violent way, but the way that you treat yourself, the way that you take care of yourself, the way that you respect yourself, the way that you uphold your own boundaries, okay, is going to be what matters in the end, all right? Because the best relationship that you want to be able to foster in this life is the one with yourself, right? Because once you are in that good space, once you're in a great space, a peaceful, blah, 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 it hasn't stopped. Then you can give what's necessary to everyone else. Then you have something to give, right? But you can't just be giving out your empty little dry cup. All right, it's time to now find the well somewhere, okay? Because it's dry. So in relearning my worth, I had to be open to receiving. Now let's talk about this glow up phase, right? When you stop begging for crumbs, the feast feels foreign at first. Okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Right? Receiving used to make me feel uncomfortable. I've never been a good receiver. I'd be like, okay, or if somebody's like, hey, what is it that you want? For instance, what do you want for your birthday, Nico? I'd be like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I think about, because whatever I want, I'm gonna get for myself. All right. I'm real extra like that. I'm a Taurus, y'all. So, I love the luxury. All right. Balling on a budget. Always. Quality over quantity. You feel what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that, the elements of receiving, the act of receiving definitely used to make me feel uncomfortable. Compliments, support, even flowers. Right? And I love flowers. However, receiving, when you're not used to it, can feel very, very, very foreign. And I was just used to earning everything with struggle. But baby, this soft girl era said you deserve pleasure without pain attached. Okay? Can I get a witness? Goodness gracious. I mean, does it have to come? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it have to come with the pain always? They say, oh, pleasure is pain, love is pain. No, it's not. No, it's not. And we need to stop telling the lie that it is. All right. And that's what I mean by earning everything with struggle. It doesn't have to be a struggle. Now, do I think that sticking it out is important? Yes, with those conversations, with reciprocity, with boundaries, with healthy communication, things of that nature. But am I trying to duke it out? Am I trying to yell it out? Am I trying to play games or be emotionally unavailable or be without emotional intelligence? You see what I'm saying? It's just like that. It's a bit much. It comes with a struggle, and I'm tired of struggling, aren't you? I mean, seriously, like, let me know in the comments. Are you tired of the struggle? All right, just hearts, smiley faces. That's all we need. Okay, high vibrations and white hearts. Seriously, I had to learn to say thank you without guilt. Does that make sense? Because when I said it, when I thought about it, when I wrote it, it made sense to me. I had to learn to say thank you without guilt. What I mean by that is, I don't know if you guys heard of survivor's remorse. So there's that. But survivor's remorse is pretty much when you reach a certain space and you are probably someone who is always giving to others and everything like that don't necessarily have, or feeling like you owe somebody something. Does that make sense? Ooh, it's a weird feeling when you're not used to receiving, so it's like when, instead of just saying, oh, thank you, I would almost diminish myself or lessen myself, humble myself, in that space, as if I wasn't worthy of the thank you. Does that make sense? I mean, it made sense in my head. I hope it makes sense to you. It's just speaking your truth, okay? Your boundaries, your needs, your desires, or your feelings, without apologizing for existing or fearing how others will perceive you, okay? It's just reclaiming your voice. I know that I used to say I'm sorry all the time. And I remember a friend of mine, she said, girl, stop apologizing for existing. Then I had to do some deep diving, of course, to find out why am I doing this? I didn't even realize how much I did it until it was brought to the light, of how much did I do. But after she kind of like shed some light on that. So that was very different for me, because I had to reevaluate, what I was saying. Yes, I'm very mannerable. I'm not saying for you guys not to be mannerable, but stop apologizing for existing. Okay. I had to stop over explaining my boundaries. Listen, it is what it is. Okay. Don't do that. The end. Period. After that, instead of explaining away why this is your boundary, that's on a need to know basis, and usually it's no need to know. It's just a need to respect it. You know what I mean? And I don't say that to like be detached or mean, but the level of self-preservation in a positive light and divine protection that is over me now is so very necessary. And if you have not learned it, please pay attention to my words, because it will change your life. Okay? I had to unlearn the belief that rest equated to laziness. Okay? Because I'm a professional chiller. However, don't get it twisted. I am a Taurus. Okay? And we get to the bag. We get things done. It may be some procrastination in there, but that's because we've already done it in our head like 100 times already, and It's nothing. Just don't try to figure it out. You're going to hurt your head. Seriously. I also had to believe that I am worthy of love that doesn't cost me peace. Okay. And my goodness. You guys, once you found peace and you know what it's taken you to arrive in that place, to have peace consistently in your life, you're going to hold on to that for dear life. Okay? And your peace is priceless. There's nothing that is worth your peace and your happiness. So those are two things that I'm very selfish with, and you should be too. Because what is life without some part of peace? You got to be able to have a safe space within yourself, that you are the safe space, not your partner or, family members and all of those things, because everything doesn't last forever. And so if your peace only lies within another human being or with an item or a place, then without that thing, what are you? What's left? You understand what I'm saying? Overstand what I'm saying, please. So I had to open my hands without bracing this. Let me get it out. I had to open my hands without bracing for disappointment. Okay? So usually people suck. Okay? Let me just be real with it. People are not cool, right? Especially right now. However, when you're moving in your vibration, none of that other stuff, it don't matter. It don't even matter. It's going to get pushed out of the box anyway, because they're not going to be able to hang with your frequency. They're going to dismiss themselves. For sure that. Okay? Now, if it doesn't feel like peace, prayer, or passion, I'm good, love. Enjoy. Because on the other side of that is just wickedness. And I say that because there's nothing, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just out, I'm leaning to the side, don't fall. There's nothing natural about being in a dark space that promotes negative thoughts, that promotes ugly, intrusive thoughts, that lowers your self-esteem, that displaces your self-worth. It's nothing worth going there. That ain't it. All right, that right there, that's not it. That's not the space to be, and that's what a lot of my work focuses on, is preventing people or helping my clients to come out of that dwelling place. Okay, to give the knowledge and the tools to know what to do in the event, okay, that you fall into that space, or you can catch and know the signs before you get to that place and know exactly what to do spiritually, physically, and emotionally and mentally. Okay, that is reciprocity. That's divine balance. That is healing. Okay, so what does reciprocity look like in real time? Let's break down how this looks in real life. Okay, so in friendships, do they check on you or just vent to you? In friendships, do they check on you or do they just vent to you? Some people only call when chaos hits. You become their safe space, their emotional sponge, their late night therapist. But when you need support, where they at? Silence, crickets. True friendship looks like mutual check-ins. It's the, hey sis, how are you holding up? What you got going on? How's your day? That type of text, unprompted. Now, we have those friends to where we don't talk for months, years. I don't know about years, it's a little extensive, but for a while, you know what I'm saying? and you still locked in like nothing ever happened, like nothing ever changed. You didn't skip a beat, and you know what it is always. It's being seen as a whole person, not just a problem solver, right? Check on your strong friends. That's what that means. That means that those people that you go to, those people that look like they always have it together, the people that are always smiling, the people that always have something positive to give or to share, those friends that check on you, check on them, right? That's what that means. Do they celebrate your wins or get silent when you shine? Pay attention. Pay attention to who claps when you level up. Real friends don't compete. Let me say that again. Real friends don't compete. They congratulate. All right. So I had like this whole thing within this time frame that I was going through with sisterhood. I was evaluating what sisterhood meant to me, how sisterhood has shown up in my life. How have I been an example of sisterhood? And I found that if someone gets quiet or weird when you're thriving, right? That's not love. That's not love, y'all. That's envy in soft disguise. Now, I have never been an advocate to promote jealousy and envy, but I do make sure that I tell my clients to get that evil eye when necessary. I use it as well when necessary. And during this time away, I've had a couple break off already, right? So, it is. I mean, it's envy in soft disguise, and that's really unfortunate, you know, because I'm a girl's girl. Y'all know I'm a girl's girl, right? And when I think of sisterhood, I think of all of us thriving. Like, I'm going to root for all y'all. I'm going to root for all my people, okay? Clients, family, friends. I'm rooting for everybody. So, because I desperately is crazy, but I definitely want to see everybody win. If you win, then I win too. We all winning, right? Reciprocity means being celebrated just as loudly as you're supported through hard times. Are they present during lows or just when they need something? Oh, friendship shouldn't be transactional, okay? If I'll say this, it should feel fluid and intentional and consistent, not just convenient when they're lonely, bored, or in a crisis. If you're always the planner, the motivator, the listener, it's time to shift. It's time to ask, are they really showing up, or am I just carrying the whole thing? If I stop calling, are they gonna call me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't show up, are they going to be concerned? You know, things of that nature. I think of all of those things when I think of, when it comes to how I show up for people. I want to make sure, because I don't think people understand, right? That we are entities in this avatar, right? And spirits in this avatar having a human experience. And the way that you show up in someone else's life, in this other spirit's life, in their journey, is your thumbprint. It's your footprint in their life, in their journey. Okay, like in their eon, in their lifetime, in their lifespan. That was your footprint. And when it comes to my thumbprint or my footprint in someone else's, another spirit's journey, I would do everything in my power for it to be positive. If I love you, if I care about you, and even if you're just a random, right? And going back to Christ consciousness, these things have to be written in our hearts. You know, it shouldn't have to be a struggle, right? And I'm not talking about being nice, because I'm not nice anymore, but I am very kind. I understand the difference now because of reciprocity. Okay? Now, let me keep going. True friends match energy, not just convenience. And you shouldn't have to chase effort, because it ain't that deep. Alright? It's just not that serious. Listen, let people do what they finna do. Let them do whatever it is that they're going to do. Effort don't cost too much. It costs a little time, thought, but you want somebody to want to do that, right? Not chase after the effort that you know that you very well deserve, right? So put that effort back into you. You see what you are looking to see from others, and watch how everything shifts for you. Watch how everything changes. I'm telling you what I know. In romantic connections, here we go. Y'all, you know what's ghetto out here, right? Especially if you're in Atlanta. God bless you. All right, we all hanging out in here. We trying to survive. But are you the only one planning, texting, nurturing? Huh? Are you? If you're always initiating, always doing the emotional labor to keep the connection alive, that's not love. Yeah, that's not love. That's performance. We're not doing that no more. Remember? So romance should feel like a rhythm. Okay? It should feel good. Not a solo job. All right? We moving in sync together in motion. Let's salsa. Samba. Isn't that a dance? I believe so. You deserve mutual effort. You deserve that. You deserve mutual effort. If you put in this type of effort in, then you should be able to get that effort back. Period. Alright? I don't even listen. I'm because what are we doing? I mean, if we're just gonna be real, that's just gonna put us in the culture of what it looks like now is people just take, just taking stuff. Little energy vampires. Goodness gracious, leave people alone. If you don't have good intentions for them, leave them alone. But of course, that's not going to happen, because that means that they would actually have to do work on themselves. So because people are a little slow coming to the party, we got to make sure that we're doing that within ourselves to avoid all of that stuff, right? If they don't bring the same energy that you do, ask yourself, why? Pray tell, are you accepting crumbs? Do you look like a peasant? No, I don't think so. Why are you accepting the bare I'm sorry, not even the bare minimum. Why are you accepting crumbs? Because the bar is in hell. I'm going to tell you that right now. However, you have to be the standard. All right? That way you can make sure that they level up to what it's supposed to look like. You dig? Are you desiring to be desired, but only getting convenience? Yeah, that one. That's not fun. Oof. That's not fun at all. Let's sit with that, shall we? Desire is not just about physical attraction, okay? It's about emotional availability, mental engagement, spiritual alignment. I mean, you got to be equally yoked in some form or fashion. It's not going to work, love. Stop trying to force it. All right? It's not happening. You know what your intuition said. You heard spirit, and yet here we are. Let it go. Let it go and leave it alone. Why are you fighting so hard to be accepted or liked by someone who clearly don't like you? And I'm not talking about with their tongue, because people speak with a forked tongue. They say things they do not mean. However, what are those actions telling you? You know them actions ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta constantly be second guessing yourself and stuff. That ain't right. Because now you over here thinking that you crazy. You ain't crazy. You on point. You know exactly what's going on. Yeah. If they only show up when it's easy, when it benefits them, or when you threaten to walk away, that's not love. That's not love. That's control management. My goodness. That is a tactic of control. Let me give you these crumbs. Feast on that. And let me give you a little bit of love bombing in that. Let me pour a little bit of that in your drink. And let me make you work for it. Because in your mind, you really think I like you. You really think you really think I love you like that. I don't. Actually, I can't stand you. And I keep doing things to show you that I don't really fool with you. To be honest, I don't really rock with myself. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I don't have the gall to tell you that. So I'm going to keep on feeding you these crumbs until you figure it out. Maybe. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was too real. That was too real. Ain't that crazy? Pierce my heart just then. Do they listen to your needs or just only react when you threaten to walk away? Are you watering their soul while neglecting your own? I bet you are. Does love feel safe? Yes. Does your love feel safe in this relationship, in this romantic connection? Does your love feel safe, or does it feel like a performance? Right? And that's something that needs to be evaluated. Let me know in the comments where you at with it and how you feel you may need to move forward. Let me know. Now, let's moving forward. We done dealt with the friends. We've dealt with the romance. Now, let's deal with in your self relationship. Are you showing up for you? Yeah. Let's flip the mirror. Are you giving yourself what you've been demanding from others? Are you resting? Are you speaking kindly to yourself? Are you setting goals and honoring your energy as you pursue them? Self-reciprocity is the foundation of every other relationship. You guys gotta forgive me. I didn't see that coming. Ah, goodness. I told y'all I'm a little crybaby. I told you guys. So let me tell you where that comes from. It's my birthday, and I've been through so much. I've been through so much, and I'm so grateful. Whew, goodness gracious. Now look at me. You see that? Real tears, real life. I'm not gonna edit it out and be a little weirdo. But, y'all, I've been through so much in my little 39 years, and I am so freaking grateful. So when I'm asking you these questions, these are all these questions that I ask myself. Self-reciprocity is the foundation of every other relationship. And once you understand that, everything else will be so much easier. So much easier. All right, let me take a break. Tap into Sex and Wellness on Spicy Saturdays with Tangela Pope and Nico Sakari. Hey! I'm back. You guys finally got to see it. I can't believe it. I sat around here and cried on Angela Bassett's internet, and y'all let me do it. So we're talking about self-relationships, right? And my next question that I want to provoke thought is, do you pour back into the same cup you fill for others? Sometimes we pour so much into everybody else's cup and then we don't have any more. So like for myself, I'll just go into solitude because I've got to replenish. I am dry thirsty, okay? And I can't go any further. Now, that's like a crash out. So you definitely don't want it to get to that level, darling. You want to make sure that you have your reservoir as well, okay? So be mindful when you are filling others' cups that you are not pulling from the last bits of what you have left. Because if you don't have it, you don't have it. You have to save that for you. So it's a less harder process, pulling yourself out of the mud, out the trenches, just to be able to feel some type of hydration again. All right? So you can't just be the healer, the nurturer, the strong one. You can't just do all those things and then leave your own cup empty. Give yourself grace, the check-ins, the joy that you give to others. Yeah, check in with yourself. Run your own bath. Book your own massages. Laugh just because. Okay? Feed yourself. You are worthy of your own tenderness. You are. You're always just giving it away. I'm a sensual, affectionate lady, and it feels so good to receive that back. It feels so good to receive that back. Oh my gosh. With intention. I'm like, oh, super cute. Not just from others, but what I give back to myself. You guys, I'm so very grateful. I really am. The love of the Creator wants you take the adventure to trust yourself and to trust that still voice. Trust your higher self, to trust spirit. Everything changes. I'm trying to tell y'all what I know, okay? So, I also want to ask you guys, do you allow yourself joy? Not just healing. I'm not talking about just healing, because healing is not linear, okay? Healing doesn't just look one way. But do you allow yourself joy? Do you guilt trip yourself out of joy? You understand? It's okay to be able to experience that, and any single time that you can experience that in your now is the richest currency that you can have. All right? So, those moments where joy just comes over you and lights you up, relish in that. All right? Healing isn't just shadow work and inner child trauma and tears. There's always some trauma somewhere, right? Goodness gracious, can we laugh? Can we have some smile? Can we celebrate, right? Can we have some joy? Yeah, sure enough, it's a lot going on out there, all right, in worldly matters. Spiritually, there is an abundance of power and righteousness and softness and wisdom and real love with like-minded spirits, with like-minded people who just genuinely want to see a better place that is working for that heaven on earth, okay? Prophecies being fulfilled and all kinds of stuff, right? However, the battle is really within. And it's going to come a point where we have to come together. And we want to make sure that when the wheat is separated from the tares completely, we know which side we belong on, okay? And we can be collected and made anew all together. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments what you guys are feeling energetically out there, okay? Because we are in a time. We're going to get to, because it's a new moon too, so we're going to get to all of that stuff. Usually I do it in the beginning. That's what I've been doing. However, it was so much that I wanted to talk to you guys about. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, what was I saying? About, child healing is also laughing, okay? Until your belly hurts. And it's rest without guilt. Because you can rest as you should be resting. A lot of these medical issues, a lot of the irritability, a lot of the mood swings, and all of these things that are transpiring is lack of rest. Go to sleep. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sleep to rest. You understand what I'm saying? Please. Rest without guilt is dancing in the mirror. Okay? It's letting others love on you. It's the letting others support you and pour into you. I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all see my shoulders? You see that? All that right now? Baby, that's stress. Okay? That's from not resting. That's from always being on guard. That is from always being tense. That's from always looking for solutions to problems. And that's not cool. That's not cool. So I've been learning how to, and that actually went down. It was worse than that. The swelling and everything, because that's where I hold the stress and stuff is on my shoulders. God. Oh my goodness. The weight on my shoulders. My goodness. But yeah, so check in with yourselves when we're talking about rest. We're talking about you not always having to be the strong one. Okay? We're talking about just simply saying okay and letting it be. Everything is not for you to put the cape on. And that's kind of hard, I know, for like someone like me. It's like, but I'm being called. It's like, do you have the capacity to do this? Or is this going to send you into overdrive? And you're going to retain that energy that you just exercised out of someone else. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, be mindful. You don't always have to be the strong one. Sometimes strength is receiving with open arms. Okay, so let's learn to do that. Your healing journey should also include joy, rest, and receiving. Okay, you can't ask for reciprocity from others if you're denying it to yourself. Reciprocity ain't 50-50, baby. It's 100. It's presence, effort, and care without keeping score, but without depletion either. All right, you feel me? So let's stop romanticizing struggle love in any form. Okay, the new era is peace-filled partnerships, soul-led friendships, and intuitive living. That's where we're going. That's where we are. Okay, do you hear me today? All right, birthday wish from all of you. This is what I want from you. I want you to give this gift to yourself, because again, it's going to change the way that you feel, the way that you view things, the way that you love, the way that you rest, the way that you see yourself. It's going to change the world, boo. And that's what I want for you. Now, I will also include my Cash App if you also would like to do that as well. Well, y'all, let's get into it. The new moon energy. We're manifesting, and y'all gonna manifest with me too today. Now, since it's my birthday, it's my Earth Day, it's my G Day, since it's my day, right? All praises to the Most High. I have to drop some manifestation gems. Excuse me. Yeah, so the new moon. Happy new moon. It's all about new beginnings. New beginnings, baby. New beginnings. It's giving resets, rewrites, reinvents, realign, okay? Reintroduce. Here are a few herbs and elements to work with to deepen your intentions. Let me see. So, we have mugwort. It heightens intuition, opens the third eye. We love that. Rose petals attract love, softens the heart. Lavender calms the nervous system and invites inner peace. And cinnamon, it speeds up manifestations, adds power to your intentions. And basil brings clarity, protection, and abundance. And we need all that. Okay, so you can use these in a spiritual bath, or a tea minus the rose, unless it's culinary safe, or just simply burn it as an incense blend with intention. Write your desires, okay? Light a white candle and say this: I am open to receiving love that feels safe. I am no longer afraid to ask for what I need. I give without depleting myself, and I receive without guilt. I attract relationships that honor my heart and hold my spirit. Now, I definitely want to do a birthday prayer, and I want you guys to join with me, okay? So, high vibrations. Spirit, thank you for another year of becoming. Thank you for the lessons wrapped in heartbreak. Thank you for the people who left and the wisdom that stayed. On this new moon, I welcome in divine reciprocity, the kind that mirrors back the love I've poured into this world. Let the next chapter be soft, sacred, and strong. Ashe, ashe, asheo. Yo, I miss you guys so much. Thank you for rocking with me, for being a part of this community, for listening to this episode with an open heart. I'm so excited for this new season, and if nobody told you this week, all right, you are worthy, you are magnetic, and you don't have to earn love through struggle. Period. Yo, catch me on the gram at Zen Journey Coach and at The Mad Alchemist, and let me know what reciprocity means to you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here and celebrating my birthday with me in the age of reciprocity. I'm going to welcome year 39 with grace and receiving a lot of love. I love you guys so much. In a world where gossip rules, I am so very grateful that you've come back to shine the gems on your crown here on Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. So enjoy the rest of your week. Love with light. Peace.